Service mast. Service mast and attachments. In most cases where the home is fed by a service overhead, the supply is fed down the outside of the house through a conduit known as the service mast. In some cases, the cable assembly is of type SE, which requires no conduit. Masthead. The masthead, or gooseneck as it is sometimes called, is at the top of the mast itself. Its purpose is twofold. First, to act as a rain cap to stop moisture from entering the conduit, and second, to provide the bushings to prevent the individual conductors from being damaged by rubbing against the metal components. In an electrical power situation, a bushing is an insulated device that allows an electrical conductor to pass through something else that may be conductive. The masthead should be undamaged and securely fastened to the service mast. The inspector should report any loose fittings or cracks in the masthead and its clamp. Drip loop. Before the conductors enter the service mast, there should be a loop in the conductors. The lowest point of these loops should be 12 inches below the point of entry into the masthead itself. This is to prevent rainwater from migrating along the conductors or cable assembly and pouring down into the masthead. Mast support. Service masts for supporting the service drop and overhead service conductors should be of adequate strength or be supported by braces or guy wires. A mast in excess of 3 feet above a roof surface may require support. The weight of the cable assembly is considerable, and when applied to an overly tall mast, has the ability to bend it right over. For the same reason, the inspector should report anything other than the cable assembly being supported by the service mast. It is common to see telephone cables, TV cables, satellite dishes, clotheslines, and supplies to remote buildings being supported by the service mast. The overhead service mast must not support such things as cable TV and telephone wires. The inspector should report all of these as in need of repair or correction. The IRC is silent on the size requirement and conduit type to be used for the mast or riser. It's also silent about the height above the roof it can extend before being supported by braces or guy wires. In many jurisdictions, the power utility company specifies these requirements. Service mast flashings. As with any other projection through the roof surface, the service mast should be adequately flashed to prevent water from entering the building. It is not unusual to see signs of water leakage through the roof due to poor mast flashings. Because the mast is generally outside of the conditioned space, these leaks commonly go on for years, causing considerable damage to the roof sheathing and fascia. Service mast attachment. In the case of rigid conduit service masts, they should be attached to the structure every 5 to 6 feet throughout their length, and should also have a clamp within 12 inches at either side of the meter base, as well as at the top of the mast if it doesn't project through the roof. It is all too common to see the attachment clamps not replaced or loose after the building siding has been replaced.